Hey everyone, and welcome to Listen Love Connect. We will be breaking some stigmas. The guest that I have today is Michelle, and she is a schizophrenia advocate. And let me invite her on so that she can introduce herself.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Chilling, hanging out, walking around, getting ready.
Good morning. Well, not morning, afternoon and evening on your end.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself for
Yeah.
some of our people?
Just looking for one thing, my hat, and we're all good. So hello, everybody watching. I am Michelle Hammer. I have schizophrenia. I live in New York City, and I created the company Schizophrenic NYC mental health clothing brand to end the stigma of mental health, just promote openness and the stigma, start a conversation about mental health, because the more conversations we have, the less stigma there will be. That's my thing.
So, thank you. So I was just telling you before you came on that because I was going to school to be a psychologist and stuff, I had to take an abnorm psych class. So I have textbook knowledge of it, one course, and then I've watched Beautiful Mind. So, so like, what are some of the stigmas and what are like myths that you can break that is not just true?
I believe one of the stigmas is that you can't live any kind of normal life whatsoever. Or no, let's start with everyone will know that you have schizophrenia if you have schizophrenia. Especially, in New York City, walking around, there's people talking to themselves, there's people this, people that. The thing is, they have schizophrenia or they don't. Sometimes people are just on drugs, that's different, But the thing is, obvious schizophrenia is usually unmedicated schizophrenia. But often, you trust me, if you think you don't know a person with schizophrenia, you are wrong. You definitely do. Not all of it just shows, you probably know someone that has it, and it's not extremely obvious. It's also on a spectrum. So just letting you know, you've probably met somebody with schizophrenia. Just saying. Also, say you can't get a job. You can totally get a job. Maybe it's not the job you've always wanted, or maybe it is the job you always wanted. You can be very successful with schizophrenia. You're not just going to be poor. You're not just going to be on disability. You're not going to be living in your parents' basement the rest of your life. You can live an actual life. It's just, we see on the news all the time, oh, this person with schizophrenia, they hurt somebody, murdered somebody, robbed, whatever it is. But you don't hear about that person with schizophrenia that woke up, had some coffee, went to work, then, had some dinner, went out with friends, because crisis and mental illness is public, but wellness and mental illness is private. Therefore, the stigmas exist. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like a lot of people, because I have invisible disability, so a lot of people just see me and it's like, you can't be disabled or you're too young. So for you guys who have mental illness, it's more of you kill people type thing. You can't achieve anything, which is not the case at all.
Exactly. People think you just can't do anything, or it's like the thing is, I have a pop-up shop for my my business, Schizophrenic NYC. I'm right on 48th and 9th, and the thing is, you never know who I'm gonna meet. I meet like just everyone in the world. But so many times when I say that I have schizophrenia, the person then tells me that they have a mental illness, a friend of theirs does, or a family member does. So the thing is, if everybody has a connection, what is with all this stigma? Because someone. I mean, come
Right.
on. Like, I don't get it. 1 in 5 New Yorkers, but 1 in 4 people. So, the stigma makes no sense. So I'm like, if everyone was just more open and honest and, told their stories of mental health and told everyone, that they live, well with it or just hang out, there wouldn't be so much stigma. But no, it's like so taboo. We don't want to tell anyone because people will judge us. They'll do this, they'll do that. But if everybody was more open, then there would be less stigma, then there would be less judginess, then there would be less, secrecy. Because it's really the secrets of not knowing what it is causes all this stigma. Because if you don't talk about it, then it's a secret.
We have a question. Do you mind answering it?
Oh, sure. What's the question?
They said, what do you think about the way schizophrenia is portrayed in movies?
I mean, the thing is, it's really hard to make a movie about schizophrenia because schizophrenia is so different to so many people. And what's going to make a movie interesting? Like, you know, a schizophrenic person, you know, having some sort of crazy episode that, you know, like it's like a, you know, a movie like that is like just the person having a jolly day, Christmas movie, everything's happy and fun. Oh, by the way, they're schizophrenic. Like, you're not like, what's the point of that? If you're going to make a movie about schizophrenia, it's got to be something actually interesting, but it's going to be offensive. That's what a movie is. That's what movies are, right? They're full of stereotypes.
Yes.
So, I mean, can you make a movie that shows it in a good way? I guess you could, but it's probably going to be a whole lot less interesting than a movie that shows it in an evil way. Because I don't know if, you know, have you ever seen the movie called The Roommate? And it's with that girl from Gossip Girl.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
So I'm watching this movie, right? And like the girl, she's like being evil. She wants to hurt this other girl. She like rips this girl's belly button ring out. And at the, you know, they're going through it, and then they go to her parents' house, or no, they go in her drawer in the dorm, and they find the medicine she hasn't been taking. And I'm watching, and I see the label. That's the same medicine I take. And I'm like, really? They actually used a brand name. And my friend sitting next to me goes, so if you don't take your medicine, are you going to start killing people? I'm like,
no.
Really? Like, why did we have to use a brand name?
Right, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'm sure they wanted the money because big pharma and blah, 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 you know. I get that.
Right.
That makes sense to me. I understand that, you know. But really, like I had, you know, why does that have to relate to me so seriously like that? Yeah. So, yeah. I'm just saying. That movie really just at that moment, I was like, no. No,
it was like a trigger. You're like,
because I'm not ripping nobody's belly button rings out no matter what. Doesn't matter if I'm off my meds or not. I'm not gonna rip your belly button ring out. Do not worry about that. It's not gonna happen. Even if I was off the meds, trust me, I would not do that.
Are there different types of schizophrenia? Like, because you said there was a spectrum.
Well, there's just like, I mean, all kinds of spectrum of anything of how it affects you in some ways. I mean, there's like the positive symptoms, the negative symptoms, the cognitive symptoms. Some people hallucinate more. Some people are more delusional. It's all kind of, it's everybody experiences it in kind of a different way. The way they hear voices in their head, out of their head, male voices, female voices, and it's all kind of just different in a way. I don't think there's really no two exactly alike, I think. I mean, that's what I think.
That makes sense, because, like, there's a lot of different, like, disabilities that I know of. Like, when you meet one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. They're not all the same.
No.
So it would be the same case for all of you, right?
Yeah.
With schizophrenia and...
Right. I'm a member of this place called Fountain House in New York City, and it's like basically a clubhouse for people with mental illness. And so through there, I've met tons of people with schizophrenia. None of us are the same. But if there's someone there that I'm friends with, you hang out with them long enough, I'm like, oh, so you have schizophrenia? And they're like, oh, yeah. Because it's open like that. But like sometimes I get, because one of my friends there, I didn't know what exactly she had. We were buddies, but then one time I was with her, and I saw her do exactly what I do. And I was like, yo, schizophrenia? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, but it's kind of like that thing. It's like, yeah, you did exactly what I do. Yeah, we got that bond.
So at, like, what age does someone, I guess, get diagnosed? And, like, you know what I mean? Like, what age and, like, how, like, it must be hard for someone who is, like, younger in elementary, high school, who has schizophrenia, and just to get along with others, like with bullying and all that.
What did you say again? Sorry.
I said, like,
said,
what
age do you diagnose?
Yeah, and, like, how, I don't know how old you were, but, like, is it hard to, like, cope when you're a high school student, a teenage student, getting through with having schizophrenia and then the bullying amongst everything else?
Well, the thing, I think they say you usually get it in your 20s. My theory upon that is that when you're growing up, you know, you have your mom and dad, mommy, daddy, and you. At least a lot of people do. And then you go off to be an adult, and that's when you kind of realize you can't be an adult, and you're like, what's up with me? And then you kind of think, oh, I do have an issue. That's my theory of why mental illness is usually diagnosed in your 20s. It's because you finally realize you can't do anything for yourself anymore. You kind of like, oh, I can't live the adult life. Oh my God, what's wrong? I can't figure anything out. What's happening with me? Oh my God, oh my God. That's my little theory on that. But through high school, my mom knew something was going on, but like I didn't think anything was going on because I was so paranoid all the time that every time I thought she was trying to help me, I thought she was trying to hurt me. So I was just so paranoid. I thought everybody hated me. I thought no one liked me. I was, I had a small group of friends that I knew for a long time. I was very shy. I was very introverted. I didn't talk that much. I didn't want to spend a lot of time with other new people. I was like scared of what people would say behind my back. So I didn't want to talk too much to people. But I was never really bullied, but I don't really know if people really liked me or anything like that. But I mean, my outlet was just playing sports and just played sports and just kind of kept to myself in some ways because I was too paranoid to make a lot of friends, honestly.
That makes sense. Because I know growing up with certain disabilities I had, it was very much, I kept a hush hush because I didn't want people to know. And it was difficult because I needed help, but I didn't want it because I didn't want other people to know. We have a question. What do you on the daily, sorry, I can't see, I don't have glasses. Do you see it?
Yeah, what do you on the daily to stay in check? Meds, exercise? To keep myself in check, I totally take my meds. I used to exercise. I've stopped. I'm trying to get back into it. I used to be that girl that went to CrossFit and everything like that, and I was like that college athlete, blah, 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 blah. And then I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like so over exercising. Yeah, I'm like done with it. And then I'm trying to get back. I got a bike, and I'm going to ride that bike because I've got a bike in my hallway for 2 years that I haven't ridden. But I'm going to get back on that bike. I'm going to bike around. That's my plan.
Hey, it's getting colder outside, so it'll be nice. I stopped biking during the summertime. It was just too hot.
Oh my God. So it was like 95 degrees here so many days. Like it was horrible. You walk outside and it was like drenched sweat. It was like walk out, like you walk into the oven. It was horrible. It was so terrible. It was insanity, the heat. Like every delivery guy, I was like tipping them extra. I was like, thank you so much. Thank you. I know you think I was supper. I'm so Well, there's another question. From 1 to 10, how much do you think meds help? I would say 9. I'll just give it a high number. As long as you're on the right meds. Yeah, I'm just saying meds are hard to figure out. It's a journey. I've been on many meds that I stopped because I didn't like it. And even just after one time, it's not the easiest thing. But once you get the right combination, you're good. You know what I'm saying?
And I believe I saw a movie, and of course, I'm bringing this up because stigma. So I was watching a movie, and this teenage boy, he started acting different, and they got him help. His parents got him help and everything. He ended up having schizophrenia, but the meds were making him very drowsy, not very, I guess coherent would be the word. And so he wanted to stop taking meds completely. Thoughts, stigmas, what are your thoughts?
I think that's very send, but I'm not exactly
right.
That's why it's not a good message to send, because the first meds that I was given, I ended up completely throwing them away. But you don't really want to send to do that.
Right.
What I should have done is gone to the doctor and said, I don't like these meds. I don't like how they're making me feel. Can we try something else? Not just throw them away and never go to the doctor again. Well, that doctor, I mean, there's a better way to explain that, But it's the dramatic effect. Throwing them away is way better in a movie.
Right. And then that's what you were talking about earlier about movies having the bad side, the stigmas of it, of what's going to be more dramatic, what's people going to be throwing away the meds.
Right. What makes a movie, tossing the meds, throwing them away, or going to your doctor. I don't really like how these make me feel. I want to try something new. I kind of feel this way. And then you talk about it and you get to the bottom and you try something new and then you feel it out. Like that's a boring, like who wants to watch that? Like nobody wants to watch that. But throwing them away, that makes a whole action sequence, Then they can toss, you can do all angles, you can put some music to it, Nobody wants to watch boring therapy about getting the right meds. Like that would be like the most boring movie ever, but that would actually be accurate. Accuracy versus film.
Right. And that's totally true. There's so many things in film that they just portray over the top to get audience, basically.
Basically, yeah.
We have another question. Do you think a med controls your schizophrenia symptoms? Will they always?
I mean, yeah, I think they do mostly. Yeah. I mean, if I didn't take them, I wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't be able to be on this live. I'd be all paranoid. Just be like, because when you're paranoid, it's kind of like I feel like the top of my head is open and everyone's reading my thoughts. Everybody knows what I'm thinking. Everybody knows where I'm going. Everybody knows what I'm doing, and it just doesn't work out good.
And I think meds, and you can correct me, is different for everyone, right?
Oh yeah. You gotta find whatever meds work for you. There's no a one set solution. I've like I said, I have a lot of friends with schizophrenia. We're not all on the same meds. Trust me.
Did it take a while for you, and you don't have to answer this, did it take a while for you to accept your diagnosis?
I mean, yeah, because at 18, I was told I was bipolar, but I didn't accept that. But when I found that I was schizophrenic, I also was in shock, and I told my best friends when we went out to dinner, and I was like, guys, I told you I'm schizophrenic. My friend Kate goes, isn't that what you had the whole time? My friend Hassan's like, yeah, that could have been more obvious. And my friend Wendy was like, yeah, we told you that. So the fact that it was so obvious, and I still was saying that I wasn't schizophrenic for the longest time, shows that I had it and I thought that I didn't have it, but it was so obvious to everybody but me. So obvious. Yeah. But you know what, if they reacted good and they didn't care, I don't think why should I care about anyone horrible that I have to deal with,
Yeah. And it really shows your true friends. I feel like at the end of the day, when I know for me, when I came out with PTSD, a lot of my friends left. They didn't want to deal with that. Well, so-called friends left, and then a lot of them stayed, and those are my true friends. So I feel like sometimes those instances bring out the true friends.
Yeah, that's true. It really does show who your true friends are. The ones who stick with you, the ones that don't, the ones that want to stay away. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Some people just, I don't get it.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, but I've seen that there is a lot of human kindness at some point. So in schizophrenia, is grounding the biggest thing for you guys? Is trying to stay in the moment like you did with your exercise, trying to go back on your bike? Is that a lot of part of your guys' healing journey? I guess, I don't know if that's what you guys call it. But.
I mean, I think you have to have just, certain things that motivate you in some way. I think there has to be just some kind of motivation to do something. Because if you're not doing anything, you're just going to be alone with the thoughts in your head. And I think you need some sort of interaction, even if it's not just a support team. I think anything, because you just don't want to be home all day doing nothing. Right. Even if I'm not saying always get a job, maybe start doing some artwork, drawing, you never know. But I don't know. I'm also just something else to keep you busy than just sitting around and doing nothing. That's what I would say. You don't want to just bleh,
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Is there anything you would want to tell someone who is newly diagnosed?
I mean, I would say that getting, diagnosed with schizophrenia is a good thing because now you can be treated for the correct illness. So
That's how
I
I
don't see
feel.
it as an end, see it as a beginning.
I feel like that with a lot of diagnoses, like, yeah, it could be upsetting and you're able to have those feelings, but now you're able to get the right treatment, the right help you need.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Is there anything else I would like to add? Sorry, I just spelled something. Just, don't let like all of this, like, don't let the stigma from society get in the way of living your best life. Don't, self-shame yourself into like not believing you can achieve your dreams. You got this. Don't let the haters win. If you believe you can do something, try your best. Give it your all. And if you already believe you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it. So you got it. Go for it.
Yeah. This was a great conversation. I was so happy that you answered my DM and you were willing to come on my Instagram live and do this with me. I was so appreciative.
No problem. It was fun.
Thank you so much. Everyone go follow at schizophrenia.nyc. She is amazing. All her. Do you want to talk about your merch?
Well, yeah, I've got merch. Well, I sell all these canvases behind me, but I also have t-shirts, tanks, and all that stuff. A lot of it says, like, don't be paranoid, look great. I'm mentally ill and I don't kill. It's not a delusion. You are incredible. Define normal. Check it all out at schizophrenic.nyc. And, start the conversation. So, no stigma.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And always remember to listen, love, connect. Bye.
Bye. Bye.